from the deep, dark hollers of southeastern Kentucky, where the moonshine is strong, the stories are strange, and your neighbor is probably your cousin. This is Appalachia, not so quiet. Hey, welcome back, everybody. I am your host, Hillbilly Phantom. As always, I'm joined by my lovely co-host,
Appalachian Shade.
How are you doing today, Shade?
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
A little tired.
A little tired.
Yeah.
It's been an eventful couple weeks. We've not had an episode in a couple weeks. Our last episode was, of course, the political assassination of Mr. Charlie Kirk. A very sad day for our country and for everybody, really. It's just it's a sad day in any country's history when a man is killed because of the things he says. It's just not right. But welcome back, everybody. So, like I said, we haven't had an episode in a few weeks, but we've had a lot going on. The podcast has just kind of had to take a back seat for a little while, put it on the back burner. Any other little sayings you want to throw in there about putting something off?
What?
Procrastinating. Yeah, we just kind of needed a break.
Yeah, we weren't really procrastinating. Just
Yeah.
our kids needed this, so.
Yeah. Kids come first. Family comes first. Had to focus on ourselves for a little while and take care of some things. Got a lot brewing in our life right now. So trying to get ahead, trying to do better for ourselves and our children. Because that's what it's all about, people. That's what everybody should be trying to do. Faith and family is, of course, important to us. And it's a very important cornerstone of Appalachia in general. That's what most of the people, that's their focus, their faith and their family. Which kind of brings us to where we want to start tonight. You've heard of faith healing, right? I'm sure most people have. So basically, your belief, your faith in God, and the prayers of those around you are able to heal you. Now, there's plenty of, documented cases, scientifically documented cases of people miraculously healing.
Miracles.
Yeah. Straight up miracles. They're real. Miracles are real. You cannot deny them. There is absolute, verifiable, scientific proof of miraculous recoveries from deadly diseases and injuries. Now, just like everything else, pretty much, Appalachia kind of has its own twist on things. And that's true for faith healing as well. We have something that people call granny witches.
Yep. Or some people get it mixed up with actual magic. And to me, there's difference.
Right.
And granny witches, like, I get it. That's something that they called on because these particular people or ladies, this majority was ladies, because they're the ones that were always at home taking care of the family while the men were out working. But I like to call them faith healers or healers because they were able to use things of the earth that God had given us.
Yeah, the term witches is misleading.
Yeah.
You think witches, you're thinking like black magic, evil.
Yeah, right.
Witches,
And everybody ties that to the what do you call it, demonic side of things.
I'll get you, my pretty.
And it's frowned upon. They're like, oh, not witchcraft.
Yeah,
no.
It's witchcraft. Yeah, that's not.
You shouldn't be practicing that. This is not witchcraft.
Yeah.
This is healing right. Backed by scripture.
Right. This is through faith, through the word of God, and through the natural things that God provides to us in these wonderful mountains.
And if you are not a believer, then this is not going to work for you.
Right.
None of this we say is not going to work for you.
Yeah. It's a two-way street.
Be strong in your faith with God.
Yeah.
And that's the most important part to make it work. Appalachian healing is about trust, using what God has given us here on this earth and scripture while asking him to actually do the healing.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, it's not calling upon some ancient deity or something. You know,
Yeah.
this is direct from God.
And a lot of this, they call them spells, I guess, but they're really not spells. They weren't written down, and kind of another reason that they call them granny witches because these women knew about it. But back when these uh, supposed spells were being made, they didn't know how to read or write, so they kind of just had these memorized.
And the whole term spell, I mean that comes along with having these components. You
Yeah,
know, you're using mud and or clay from a certain
yeah, or
region,
a certain
and
herb
yeah, or you're using a
or a
herb
root.
that's found in this region, and yeah, things like of that nature. And I guess that kind of links it to spells because when a witch casts a spell, she uses "Eye of Newt, Toe of Frog," you know. So I guess they just kind of linked the two together,
Yeah, people's
saying
like,
they were casting spells, but it's not
yeah.
actually casting a spell. Not like that.
In the mountains, people never thought of healing herbs as magic. They thought of them as blessings. So God made the fig tree to heal Hezekiah. He also gave us oil for anointment and trees whose very leaves are used for healing.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah, there's all kinds of plants that have healing properties. We only use a few of them because a lot of them are ostracized. They were deemed bad
mhm.
for some reason.
So, like, when our grandparents would boil sassafras tea for like our stomachs and laid hands on us and prayed. Again, it's not witchcraft. It was faith. Faith that God's creation carries his touch. So
Yeah,
that's what we're practicing.
yeah, exactly. This is, like I said, this is Appalachia's own spin on the faith healer thing. We've all seen the people, call on the name of God and lay their hand on
hmm
somebody to try to heal them. These people were kind of doing the same thing.
And, back then, there really wasn't any close hospitals or doctor's offices. Like, if your family member or something became ill or injured, but if you knew a granny witch that lived up the road, you're like, at that point, you're going to try anything,
Oh,
really,
you're
to
right.
save their life. So, and you would go visit them and get healed.
There
Or,
was many such people in Appalachia way back in the early days. These people that had brought knowledge from wherever they came
mhm.
from.
It's not called voodoo, it's called hoodoo in this area.
Right.
It's kind of like,
Voodoo is
in
dark magic type of stuff,
Yeah, in Appalachia,
typically.
hoodoo's like a blend of mountain folk medicine and Bible verses, while voodoo stays tied to its African religious roots in Haiti and
Yeah.
Louisiana.
Like I said, there's always this kind of depiction of voodoo as kind of the dark magic, witchcraft type stuff.
Yeah, hoodoo, HOODOO, is what we're talking about tonight.
Yeah. And that's viewed as
That's
kind
what
of
we're talking about on this episode.
it's viewed as kind of the light magic.
It's a system of folk magic and practices, and it's not a religion. But it originated by enslaved Africans in the American South, especially around like the Mississippi Delta and Appalachian areas. And it's blending American spiritual practices with Native American practices as well, like herbal
Right.
knowledge and European folk traditions.
That's kind of where I was going was,
Yeah.
these people came over with knowledge of, various plants being able to heal and stuff, but those plants aren't here when they get here. These are different kinds of
hmm
plants, but there's some that do the same kinds of things. And the natives knew about all this.
Yeah, they are. They taught some of the
Yeah. So
the immigrants that came over.
Our Appalachian people learned a lot of this medicinal properties of these plants and stuff from the native people that were already here that have been using it for hundreds of years, thousands of years.
And not all, but a lot of the biblical scriptures that they use was from Psalms, for the spiritual power. They would pull them from Psalms.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, Psalms is kind of your spiritual songbook or poem,
Or,
if you'd like to say that.
then there's a lot that comes from Ezekiel as well. I know that there's a stop bleeding and stop burning that
Burning,
came
yeah.
from Ezekiel.
Well, I mean, I'm sure they used all kinds of different passages throughout scripture. But like you said, Psalms was kind of the more popular one.
So a lot of the Appalachian folk use like herbal, like sassafras and ginseng as medicines.
Yeah, ginseng was a big one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it still is today. And then they would use like onions or cabbage leaves. I know that they would use onions on children's feet when they would have like pneumonia or bronchitis or something like that. Would draw out toxins and they wouldn't cough as bad when they were sleeping. And then the cabbage leaves. I've known of them to put them on like a lady that had just given birth and to keep her milk ducts from getting inflamed and infected that would like kind of cool her breasts down
Really?
and yeah and keep them from being so painful.
Cabbage leaves on the boobies. That's a new one. I've not heard that one.
Yeah, it works. If you have ever given birth and afterwards, like, your boobies hurt so bad and they're so hot, it's really relieving. Just the cool touch.
Cabbage.
You can't stand anything else to touch them. They're so sensitive. It's
Wow.
bad. And then you got the olive oil and the lard, and they would put it like for burns and cuts.
Yeah.
And then a lot of times things would be tied to the moon, the phases of the moon like timings,
Oh yeah.
remedies, planting of herbs. You had to time
Yeah.
it by
Yeah,
the
have been,
moons.
and there's all kinds of famous wives' tales that revolve around the
Yeah.
moon and stuff.
Have you ever been with somebody and the day's just a little like crazy and they're like, oh, must be a full moon tonight.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, you hear that a lot from like
Mm-hmm.
first responders and stuff. Man, they will tell you some crazy stories
But
about
for
full moon.
for generations, people's believe that the moon has a powerful influence on people and the events tied to it.
Yeah, yeah. There's entire religions that
Mm-hmm.
used to be based around the moon.
I was watching over from the night sky. The moon also has like powerful folk magic in some form, like they call them moon spells.
Yeah, yeah. You have the moon is always tied to supernatural things.
Hmm.
That's why you see a lot of the supernatural things at night
And
because they
like,
say the power of the moon.
and humanity just seems drawn to the moon. So,
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's fascinating. That's
hmm
why we went there back in the 60s and 70s, but we haven't been back.
but
I think they found something.
each moon spell though has a specific moon phase that it's got to be in before one of these healing spells work or that you are passing a healing spell on to another like or my grandpa knew how the healing spell for the Bible verse to stop bleeding and he could only pass that
Yeah.
on to me, another female in the family. He couldn't pass it on to like
Yeah.
my dad. It has to go from male to female or female
Right.
to male,
Right. Yeah.
and that's how it works. But it has to be under a wax moon. I think that's when you have to pass it on. That's that
Oh,
particular spell, and it has to be passed on like that for generations, male, female, back and forth. It can't be male, male, or female, female, because then that breaks the power behind it to actually make it work.
there you go.
Yeah.
Another example of why biology matters.
Yeah.
Female, female, male.
So some of the phases of the moons, like the new moon, this is when the moon is entirely like a shadow and it might be nearly impossible to see in the night sky. And then you have the wax and crescent moons, and that's when the moon appears as a thin silver crescent, like you can just barely see the
Yeah.
bottom of it. And you have your first quarter, you have the waxing gibbous, and this is when more than half the moon is visible on the right side,
Yeah.
but isn't quite full. And then you have the full moon, and that's the easiest one to
Right.
everybody knows that one. And then you have the waning gibbous, and that's when it's more than half visible on the left side.
Well, that's the way most spells and curses and things usually read is under a full
Yeah.
moon.
So then you have the last quarter, which is half of the moon is illuminated on the left side. And then you have the waning crescent. The moon continues to shrink with a small sliver appearing on the left side. So left side, right side, it makes a difference too. Just so you know.
Yeah.
But according to the old age beliefs, there's like a set of routine for when certain crops should be planted, or you know. But I usually say the full moon is when a lot of babies are born. You can about guarantee a lot of women, if you go to the hospital, are there giving birth during full moon. I don't know if it's something to do with like the pressure or something other that a full moon puts on the earth, and everybody's just seems like everybody's water breaks around that time. It's like they're popping out left and right. But during the new moons, the new beginning, that's when you want to plant your seeds. Then during the waxing crescent, that's when you want to start to water your seeds. And if you're looking for love, consider working on a love spell during that time as well. So,
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
during a waxing crescent moon. Yep.
Okay. Do they have a love spell? Oh,
Don't
Granny Witch love
I
spell?
don't
Yeah.
know one.
Oh, okay.
When I was little, I don't know if this has anything to granny witches and stuff, but I was always told if I caught a leaf in the fall and I put it under a rock, that the boy that I'm supposed to marry would write me a love letter. So,
Really?
but you never did.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I never got that.
I
Turned
couldn't
out
find your rock.
they're all over the holler there where I lived at. So,
You did it often, you're saying?
yeah.
Okay.
But then it also, if your heart is set on excelling in a chosen career path, you can do that. Prosperity spells is beneficial during that time as well.
Oh.
Yeah. Then you have the first quarter moon, which is actions, decisions, and commitment. The first quarter moon is a reminder that there is powers within us to continue to the course. That during that time, it's to make adjustments to our plans and move forward with determination. And then we got the waxing gibbous moon. The best time to do so is taking stock of your current progress and is important that our overall trajectory or your goal during this time period. It's important to stay diligent and detail oriented.
And of course, there's blood moons and harvest moons and
Yeah,
the blue moons of
right.
Kentucky.
Everything was under the moon.
Yeah,
But
the moon was very important to
mm,
a lot of different things. It's constantly been an influence.
a lot of them used it as for agricultural reasons
Yeah,
to plant and stuff. So
but these granny witches,
use them to pass spells on and to
yeah,
to do their
they're like, oh,
healing.
I can do this, but it has to be under a full moon. Or since we did it under a crescent moon, you should be healed up by the full moon or something like that.
And then as time progressed, then they started using the farmer's almanac as well, which told them when each phase of the moon should be around what date and stuff like that.
It became more streamlined.
And
You didn't have to memorize all this stuff.
they've even done like weaning their child from the breast and things like that, or their cattle or their horses and things, weaning them from their mothers during moon phases
Yeah,
and
certain
things like
moon
that as
phases.
well.
Yeah, yeah, it was very important. Absolutely.
Hunting, fishing, all by moon phases.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and that comes from, their own traditions from whatever area they came from, but also the natives.
But like even your skincare, like could be impacted by the moon phases. So like during a waxing moon, it's thought to a special time for rejuvenation and skin healing treatments. So they even did it for that.
Yeah, so that's how ladies looked pretty back in the day.
It's like, oh, it's a waxing moon. I must exfoliate. I don't know if they exfoliated.
I
I'm
don't know
sure
what
they
they
did.
did, but yeah, rejuvenation.
But then, they also had charms and things like that they passed down through generations as well that they would use during their faith healing and stuff like that. Or I know my grandpa, it's not actually a charm, but he would save these rattlesnake tails or the rattles off the rattlesnake and pin them to baby's clothing for colic or to help with teething, and that they would wear them like a charm.
Right.
So
Yeah.
there was, like, again, things from the earth that you could use to help cure these things, or
Yeah.
if they had really bad teething issues. I've seen him pin one on my brother before, and I mean he was just drooling. His teeth were killing him. Is when he was teething was during like the summer months, and that's really the worst on kids is during the summer months. And
Yeah.
we put one on his little onesie and straightened right up.
Wow.
So.
See, that's incredible. I mean, these things actually work. You have people that can attest to the fact that these things work, like you. I mean, right there, you have a story where, that they tried this remedy and it actually worked. And I don't know how we got so far away from this. I'm sure they don't work on everybody. And like you said, a lot of it is faith based. And if you don't have faith, then it may not work.
But I have seen like my grandpa harvest mullein. You know what mullein is? It looks like a weed. A lot of people assume it's a weed. It can be very tall. It's like a big old yellow stalk of stuff, and the leaves look like they got fuzz on them.
Yeah.
And he's
Oh,
made
yeah, I've seen those.
yeah, he's made mullein tea out of it. He's broke some of that off and boiled it and made mullein tea because he had black lung and bronchitis and stuff from where he worked in the mines,
Yeah.
and that would help break that phlegm up off of his lungs and things like that.
Wow.
Just using things that God gave us, and it up with faith that it would work.
Yeah. Like I said, that's something we should really try to get back to.
Well, I mean, during COVID, I don't know if it, was as good as the fresh stuff you would get off the land. I had ordered a mullein leaf, and we actually took that during COVID to try in case
Oh
we were
yeah,
to
yeah, I
catch it.
remember
That
that.
would help
Oh, that was
prevent it in
mullein?
some.
I thought
Yeah.
that was kudzu.
No, we did use kudzu as well.
Okay.
Because that was more of preventative. Let's say it was mullein, kudzu. It's not actually an antibiotic, but it's kind of like a prophylaxis. Like before you get COVID, it's like something that will keep you from getting it so bad.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And the mullein was kind of help you get over it.
Yeah,
type of
help.
thing.
Yeah, help you break all that up because a lot of people were having difficulty getting the fluids and stuff off of their lungs, and they were ended up
Yeah.
having to go to the hospital. So the mullein kept things flowing and clear. That
There
you.
you go. Another example of something natural that could have helped, but instead we leaned on big pharma.
Yeah.
But like I had mentioned earlier, these granny witches, there's a lot of old wives' tales and things that you can tie to them as well. They would say things like, don't do this on the Friday before your wedding.
Oh yeah,
That type of stuff. And
yeah.
then,
It's like superstitions.
yeah,
as
and
they-
yeah, and there's superstitions as well.
Appalachians are very serious about their folk magic practices, and their superstitions run really deep.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I know my granny's. I mean, she was hell bent on us not rocking that rocking chair without somebody in it,
Yeah.
and we did it. My sister did it, and nothing happened, thank God. But for some reason, she's like that could cause something to happen. So
Yeah. Yeah. Little superstitions and little
Mhm.
sayings like that. A lot of them have come from these granny witches because they seem to know things that not everybody else did.
And a lot of these superstitions are influenced by people that are family members and stuff that had came over from like English colonies, Scottish, Irish, German, and then indigenous people.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
they're
it was
kind of
kind of
all
a-
mixed in the pot. Cultural beliefs and heritage kind of all blended together.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a big mishmash of different beliefs and things, but it all worked out. That's kind of what kind of made Appalachian people Appalachian people.
And so, for starters, let's do this one. Friday the 13th.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's a big one.
so it's more than just a horror classic. Friday the 13th is actually a superstition that originated in the Appalachian area. Did you know
Oh
that?
yeah.
Yeah. Many mountain folk believe that bad things happen on this day. It's necessary to take extra precaution to avoid any negative outcomes. This might include extra warding, protection spells, and even just trying to just stay home and avoid going out at all costs.
Really? And this all originated in Appalachia.
Right. And though it's spread all over the United States, walking under the ladder it originated here in Appalachia.
Oh yeah. I did
And
not know that.
Breaking of the Mirror, 7 Years Bad Luck. Heard of that one?
Oh yeah.
Knock on wood for
Knock
good
on
luck.
wood. That's popular. All these came out of Appalachia?
All these came out of Appalachia.
Really?
We're popular. So, if you drop a fork, it means that a woman will soon come to visit.
Oh.
Hanging a mirror by the front door to ward off evil.
Haven't heard that one.
If a pregnant woman looks upon a dead person, her child will be born with a birthmark. And I know I've shared this one with you.
Okay. So a pregnant woman, her baby will be born with a birthmark if she
Looks upon a dead
looks
person.
upon it. Okay.
And this one, 7 years bad luck if you close a knife that someone else has opened.
Yeah, actually, I know that one.
Okay.
I've heard that one a lot in my life. I have people hand me back knives all the time. I ain't closing that. You opened it.
And I remember this one, and didn't understand it till I was way older. My papa had a yard full of apple trees.
Yeah.
And I love to help harvest them and everything. And he's like, "Now, don't pick all of them. You leave one." I always thought it was because that one would fall off and grow a new apple tree.
Yeah.
But actually, it wards away, like it keeps the devil away.
Really? You leave one apple on the apple tree and it'll keep the devil away. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know that one. We had quite a few apple trees of our own where I grew up, and we never did really harvest them that often. We'd just go out there and pick what we wanted. So there was always more than one left.
And then here's a superstition. Never repay the salt that you borrowed.
Never repay the salt
Mm-hmm.
that you borrowed.
You can go borrow a
No.
cup of sugar, a cup of flour from your neighbor and then return it, but never the salt.
Never the salt.
Mhm.
I wonder why that is.
So the idea is that you should never return borrowed salt. Shows up in the old mountain superstitions as well as other cultures. It's not about the salt itself, but the symbolism. Salt is like as a protection. Salt was long seen as a holy protectant. Returning it was thought to send back blessings or protection. Many believe returning salt meant that you were returning your good luck or your prosperity to the person you borrowed it from.
How strange.
Sharing salt was a sign of friendship. Giving it back broke that bond. And some Appalachian families said, never send the salt back or you'll send your luck back with it.
Huh. That's strange. I wonder why salt is so symbolic. Because you have the whole, throwing salt over your shoulder
I've always heard about
superstition.
you can sprinkle salt around your house to protect it from evil spirits as well.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I mean, that's, you got the television show Supernatural, and they use circles of salt to protect themselves from demons and stuff
yeah,
like
it kinda
that.
keeps evil spirits
Yeah.
from entering.
I just wonder why salt was the chosen substance. I just wonder if it somehow goes
Mhm.
back to the biblical account of Lot's wife being turned into a pillar of salt.
Could be. You're not supposed
It's
to
just
look back.
strange. Yeah, it's just strange.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And then, of course, always go in the same door you came. Go out the same door you came in.
But, oh yeah,
Is
I've
it?
heard that
You
one.
know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
always go out the same door you came in.
What about don't cut a baby's hair before the first birthday because it brings them bad luck?
I've sort of heard that. I mean, I've heard people say, "Oh, I don't want to cut their hair till they're, after their first birthday." But I don't remember anybody mentioning bad luck because of it.
And then there's the carrying of the rabbit's foot that brings good luck.
That come out of
Mm.
Appalachia?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Of course.
Hmm.
We're fancy.
But a lucky rabbit's foot? I thought that was at you.
Or the black cat crosses your path. A lot of it came from here. A lot of the superstitions.
Even the black cat, really?
Mhm.
Yeah, I've heard that one my whole life. That's pretty crazy. I didn't know some of those. I thought they were just, famous sayings from
But they all
wherever.
originated from here.
Yeah, that's cool. No, that.
You just think it's something that we came up with as a kid or whatever.
Yeah, I thought it was just something kids said. Apparently, it's old folklore, Appalachian words, superstitions.
Now, to go back to the one about, the woman shouldn't look upon a dead body or whatever. I was always taught it, like if you look up on something frightful, something scary, like someone that's had an accident, like maybe scars down their face or something like that, and you shouldn't look them in the face because that could scar your child, and it can happen.
Really?
Mhm. And like I remember, my sister was pregnant with my niece when I wrecked my first vehicle, and I had a cut down my hand.
Yeah.
And I was bleeding. She didn't see it though, but I had put it on the back of her neck, and that same shape of the scar that's on my hand is on my niece, the back of her neck. Like it's a birthmark on the back of her neck.
No way.
Yeah, I'll show it to you next
For
time.
real? Yeah, I'm gonna have to see some proof of that.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
crazy.
Show it to you.
Wow. So your scar or your cut,
Yeah, I mean you can't
you
see it
pressed
now
it.
because it's kind of in with the little lines in my hands, but you could clearly see it when it was cut.
Yeah. So your fresh cut, you laid it on your
the back of my
back of your
sister's neck, like she
Yeah.
was holding me, and I went to her, and that's same birthmark. Well, look, the shape of that is on her neck, of Sissy's neck.
That's cool.
But then she'll have to tell you how she got her freckles.
I think I've heard that story before.
Okay. I make all the kids in the family that's got freckles. I make them think that. We won't go there.
Yeah, we'll stay off that. But it's just cool that all these superstitions kind of originated from Appalachia,
Mhm.
and all of them have some knowledge buried in there. A lot of people might think, it's just a stupid superstition, but it was based on some real factual knowledge. These people had witnessed bad things happening after a black cat crossed their path.
I mean, just not superstitions as well. Like they could predict the weather before
Yeah.
weather stations and things like that. What meteorologists were a thing. They could tell you by the way the leaves were turned up or
Right.
the the smells outside, and like if there was rain coming, how
Yeah, you
much
can smell
rain
the
was
rain.
coming.
Yeah.
It was just, and they still can do it today. Some of them can.
The leaf turned up thing, that was something that
Mm.
kind of caught me off guard. My dad told me that one, and I started paying attention.
And it's
And sure enough, I would see
the bottoms of the leaves
the
when it's about to
leaves would
rain.
turn up towards the sky, and I'm like, wow, what in the world? And when, Dad told me that, I was like,
Mhm.
oh, according to Dad, it means it's going to rain. And sure enough, it would rain.
And
Maybe not till the next day, but it would rain.
and again, before meteorologists or everything, they knew what each cloud meant, like the shape of
Yeah,
the clouds or the way that they look. Like, oh,
yeah.
it's gonna snow. This is gonna be a big snow. This is gonna be a big rain event. They
Oh
already
yeah, they
knew.
knew how to
They
read the
knew
skies.
that tornadoes were coming and things like that.
They knew how to read the sky and the trees, the behaviors of the animals, all the things.
Cattle,
Environment.
if cattle's laying down, it means it's gonna rain. Things
Yeah,
like that. So if the deer are moving around a lot, then it's gonna become a big snow.
yeah,
So are they, just looking how the squirrels in the tree, how hard they're harvesting, that they know that it's going to be a bad winter. That they
yeah.
need to harvest just as hard as the squirrels and
Right.
the chipmunks.
Yeah,
So
watch the animals, see what they're doing. You
yeah,
know what to prepare for. They had a way of reading all the signs
hmm
of things that were going to happen,
and
not just when it came to the weather either.
no, they had other things, like they knew that danger was coming. Like if a chicken had laid an uneven number of eggs, then they're like, "Well, probably something dangerous is going to happen. Dangerous
That
coming."
meant
So.
some kind of danger was approaching.
Or if a broom falls for no reason, bad fortune is soon to follow.
Well, yeah. Okay. Well, I've unfortunately had that happen a lot.
Or rabbits, rabbit hunters don't get up early, or that I know of, anyways. My family don't. If a rabbit crosses your path before sunrise, then it's going to bring unhappiness. Of course, we went over the death comes in threes. I've seen that true over and over
Yeah.
again.
Yeah, unfortunately, that one has proven to be true.
If you're struggling to light a candle, that means the rain is on the horizon as well.
Really?
Yeah, so if it won't light.
Struggling to light a candle. I've struggled with a lot of candles in my day. I've never made a connection to any kind of storms or anything like that.
But the most important thing to remember about granny magic or granny witches, spells, is it's not done every day. It's not an everyday practice. It's just done on special occasions when it's needed. It's not,
Right. Yeah, it was an emergency type of
yeah.
thing. They were the early emergency
hmm
rooms.
Many households, engage in the rituals to protect and bless their living spaces, and cleansing ceremonies or burning of special herbs and practices to ward off negative energy, or like again healing, things like that. So it's not like what can we concoct today to what I'm saying, what
Yeah.
are we putting in our cauldron today?
Yeah. Like I said, they don't do any of
Yeah.
the Eye of Newt.
Right. It's Appalachian granny witches understand it better than probably real witches. It's more of like a way of life than just like a belief system. This is,
Right.
a common everyday thing
Yeah.
that they are used to.
Yeah. Granny witches they're really kind of,
Like a midwife, I
yeah.
guess. Like a, you know.
Well, I guess they were just good for the community. They weren't these dark, typical witches. And one of my favorite movies is Pumpkinhead. In that, it actually features a granny witch, a guy whose son is killed by some people, goes to this old witch in the woods. And, supposedly this movie took place, somewhere in Kentucky. It was based like in the Kentucky, West Virginia border area, somewhere in there. But he goes to this witch and he's looking for revenge. And in the movie, she's this evil, cackling, old, wrinkled up,
You're right.
and then
Stereotypical.
she summons Pumpkinhead and, helps this guy get his revenge. But yeah, that's a Hollywood depiction of these witches that we had in Appalachia. These were faith-based and earth-based people who were simply trying to help.
A lot of these people that, are, it's either been passed down from generation to generation, or I've had like thrush. So what they call it's like the little blisters that gets in a baby's mouth.
Thresh, yeah.
Yeah. There's specific people that can heal that as well. It's either, I think, like the seventh son of the seventh son. Like say I've
Hear that one a lot.
I've
Okay.
heard that if they breathe into the child's mouth, sit there and like exchange, just like kind of blow into their mouth, then that will kill the thrash.
Yeah, I've not heard that one.
But that's how a lot of
I've
this.
heard the whole seventh son of a seventh son
Mm-hmm.
thing. You know, that's well, it's an Iron Maiden album. But yeah, I've heard it in relation to other things as well.
But it's like I said, Appalachian folklore, magic, if you that's what you want to call it, faith healing is generational. It's passed down, and as long as the faith is there to back it up for generations, your your spells are more powerful than like me sitting here telling you what verse you've got to go read in the Bible to stop bleeding. Not saying it won't work, but mine will probably, because mine's been passed down, will work better or quicker.
Yeah.
Like it's stronger because it's been believed in that bloodline for so long.
Yeah. The belief is a huge part of it. The faith. And that's kind of where we started, was faith is a huge part of Appalachia.
Like, I mean, you can use it, and then let's say later down the road we have a daughter, then you can pass it on to her, but you're just kind of starting that process all
Like
over
starting the
again,
process. Yeah.
building that faith over again.
So I can have faith and receive this knowledge.
It's kind of like going to the doctor. Would you go to the doctor and choose someone that just currently graduated and got their doctorate, or would you like a seasoned doctor that's got 30, 40 years experience? You know what I'm
Oh
saying? Like
yes.
backing it up, like it's gonna work better
Yeah.
if this person does it versus that person does it. The chances
Right.
of it working.
Yeah. Okay. I see what you laying down.
Not
Yeah.
saying I'm no better than you, but I'm just saying it's
Right. Yeah, that's understandable. Yeah, something that's been passed down generationally, like you said, you know, male to female, female to male, with that belief, with that faith in the power of this.
the power backing it.
Yeah, the power of God backing it up.
Mm.
Yeah, it makes sense that that would be stronger and would work better than somebody who just now learned about it. And that's why, you know, faith is such a big deal in Appalachia, and passing it down, making sure that your children and your children's children, that they understand and they believe and they have faith as well.
And that God gave us all of his creation here on earth to use to do what we need to do.
Yeah, he gave us everything we could possibly need to take care of ourselves. And yeah, in a lot of the world, especially in America, gotten really far away from that. We need to get back to it. We need to realize the truth of that God gave us everything we could possibly need to take care of ourselves.
And again, I want to stress this is not witchcraft.
Yeah, no,
This
it's
is
not
not
witchcraft. Like I said, you know, it kind of gives you that idea
Yeah.
because you hear the term granny witches,
Yeah.
but they weren't witches.
Spells, you know.
Yeah, or him, yeah, call them what they did. Wasn't really spells. It was
Common
science and
knowledge.
faith.
Knowledge.
And science that we didn't even understand until, you know, decades, maybe even centuries later.
Well, a lot of these herbs and things like that and remedies are in our medicines today.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying that, you know, we've completely forsaken these things,
Mhm.
because, you know, science does some wonderful things with certain plants and, you know, making medicines and things out of certain plants. But it's not, you know, using the plants off the land type of feeling. It's this big corporate machine, you know, big pharma making these things. And they're not even using it correctly in a lot of cases. The ways that they give us these medicines, the form that they give us these medicines, can actually cause problems, cause side effects, when the plain old, you know, natural plant itself.
Right, they're putting so many preservatives in it now to try to make it last longer or
Right.
to make it stick together in pill form that it's
Yeah,
kind of
you're not
dangerous.
just getting the plant, the medicine that is in this plant or whatever. You're
Mhm.
getting this processed junk.
Yeah. Right, and they're even adding, you know, colors and things like that to it.
Yeah. So I don't know what's wrong
The-
with us just going back to the plants. You know, some stuff they have to extract it and concentrate it
Mhm.
in order for it to work
Well,
properly.
they
Understand
just
that.
made it into teas back then.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. There you go. That's how you concentrate it is in a tea or something. You don't need to process it to death
Yeah.
into a pill.
And when they do put it in pill form, it takes our digestive system so long to break it down that a lot of our digestive acids and things like that just totally eliminate it. So it doesn't, we have to take more.
Yeah, we don't even get the benefits because it takes out so much. I don't know. Like I said, they do wonderful things, but at the same time, I don't see what's wrong with just using the natural.
Me neither.
Me neither. And you didn't have to have a PhD in order to know that this was good for you.
Like an aloe plant, you can just grow that in your house, but now they want to put it in a bottle and put all these extra preservatives and things with it so you can keep it in the squirt bottle and just go out there and break off a little bit and rub on your skin.
Yeah.
That's it. And now they've got it where it's green looking. They've added dyes to it.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know why they have to make everything so complicated. Like you said, you can grow an aloe plant pretty easily right in your windowsill. Yeah. Break you off a little piece, smear it on your skin. Don't go to Walmart and buy a big giant pump bottle full of some processed aloe. That's kind of the road we're heading down, I hope, with the Make America Healthy Again movement, RFK and all that.
Man, me too.
I really hope we're going down that road again.
It's so weird to think, like, when we were little, how good food tasted and how now it's just like it's getting smaller. The colors of it are changing and the taste is horrible. Like, it's just not like what I remember when I was little. Yeah. Especially when they just now came back. Well, it's been a few years. I think I was pregnant with our littlest one or just had him when they came back out with the Pop-Tart cereal. I was so excited. And then
I remember that.
Oh, it was so disappointing.
Yeah. Yeah, we bought like 3 boxes because you were just like over the moon.
I know. That was my favorite cereal as a child. And then I'm like.
And you took them out and you were like, ugh.
What have they done to my cereal?
I guess that's just part of getting older. Nostalgia is a powerful thing. So I encourage everybody out there, look into the Appalachian Granny Witches. Check them out. We've only gave a little bit of information.
I could talk about this for days. It just interests me so much.
There's a lot of interesting things surrounding these old ladies.
I look at it as from a healthcare perspective.
I wish more healthcare people would look into this because, like I said,
the homeopathic medicines instead of this over the counter.
I know there's a lot of people out there trying to do that. You know, we've got plenty of homeopathic stores and things now that sell the natural, supplements and things of that nature. Like you said, we had mullein and kudzu and things like that we tried out.
The teething tablets I used on the kids was homeopathic.
Yeah.
Medications. So
there you go. I mean, there's places you can get.
But also our ancestors like to put a little whiskey on their teeth, on their gums. That helped.
Oh yeah.
But it's probably frowned upon now. Like, you shouldn't give your child alcohol. I'm not saying give them a shot.
Yeah.
I'm saying to damp your finger with a little alcohol or whiskey and just rub their gums, not be like, here, take this shot and chase it with this or.
Yeah, you don't pour it down their throat. You just, just a little bit on your finger, rub it around on the gums.
Kind of numbs their gums.
Yeah, little things like that. But yeah, there's places you can get natural remedies and things, but, we used to have them all around us. It's not just about the plants, the natural remedies, but like we said, the faith. Mm-hmm. Got to have some of that faith to make sure to keep faith in us because we have hit another milestone, and it's thanks to all of you out there listening right now. We have hit 1,000.
Actually, we're over 1,000.
Over 1,000 listens, streams, and downloads. Oops, I hit the wrong button. People are laughing at us. There it is. Yay, my cheering crowd, my adoring fans. That's right. Appalachia, not so quiet. Over 1,000 streams and downloads. And it's all thanks to all of you. Keep liking, keep listening, keep commenting, because your comments could win you something. Comment on this episode on all the platforms that we can be heard on.
Except for iHeartRadio.
Well, okay. Yeah, iHeart doesn't have comments. Mm-hmm. But other than that.
It'll be Spotify, Apple Podcast, Amazon Music, and Audible.
Yeah. So any of those platforms, you can listen to us, listen to this episode, leave a comment and say, I want some free merch.
And then we'll put your name on our little Wheel of Fortune, announce who's the winner of the free t-shirt and coffee mug.
That's right. We're giving away another t-shirt and coffee mug. Last time when we hit 500 listens, we had a little giveaway, and Jennifer Ashley won the coffee mug and t-shirt. So congratulations to Jennifer.
She had shared some photos with me of her with her
Oh, she's
merch.
representing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Repping the Appalachia Not So Quiet merch. Yeah, if you'd like to be repping some merch, like I said, leave a comment. That's all you got to do. Say you want some free merch, put your name in the wheel, and we'll pick out a winner on our next episode. So keep the faith, keep the comments coming, keep listening. And as always, I'm your host, your Billy Phantom, and my lovely co-host,
Appalachian Shade.
We'll catch you on the next one. Till then, watch out for them boogers.